What's it like to be a Bolt driver? I'm going to interview my friend Elia to find out exactly what it's like. So come with me right now. Elia.
Hello, sir.
Charlie, what's up?
Cool, sir.
Ready to go?
Yes, please.
All right.
Always ready.
Okay, Charlie, morning on.
Morning, sir.
How be business?
Business cool.
How things they go? You make it no mind me. Look on the road and we talk, yeah?
Okay, sir.
So, how long have you been a Bolt driver?
Okay, for about 2.5 years.
Okay. What made you decide to become a Bolt driver?
Okay, I think it was during the COVID time, and I was home because I was working at GIJ and schools were shut down. So I had to be home, and I was home for about 1 year. There wasn't no income from anywhere, so I had to do something else.
Okay.
So I just decided to go into this.
Okay. And how did you get the car?
Okay, so actually, this is not my first car. This is the second car.
Okay.
The first car, I just went to see a Bolt driver who was parked and was waiting for a rider, and just told him I needed a car for the work, and he said, okay, his boss also needs someone, so he introduced me to his boss.
Okay.
So he then introduced me to his boss, and I got that car.
Okay.
And actually, that car was even for work and pay. So after driving close to a year, the man decided to change his terms and conditions in terms of the price he was giving during the initial stage of the agreement. He decided to leave the car because it wasn't worth it.
What were the terms before? And why? What was he changing it to?
So the terms was like he told us we would have to drive the car first 3 months free, which is not part of the work and pay. That's how I got this.
That's how you got this job. Okay. So what are the terms now for what you're doing?
So for this, I'm to pay in total 55,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow. Over how many years?
For 2 years.
Okay.
So that is 500 cedis weekly. So in a month is about 2,000 cedis.
Okay.
Yes. So and all maintenance and everything is based on you, the driver.
Is that a high target? I mean, 500 cedis a week. Is it a lot?
It's a lot. Initially it was cool, but now it has become difficult because the fuel increment has really made the work very, very hectic, and some of us we even feel disappointed sometimes. But because we are already in it, we are just praying. God help us complete this contract, and that's all.
So if you are able to pay off in 2 years, then the vehicle becomes yours.
Yes.
Okay. How many months are you into the new contract now?
Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm left with about 6 months to be done.
And the car will be yours?
Yes.
Will you?
It has not been easy. 500 cedis weekly.
What was your toughest day as a Bolt driver?
My toughest day was when it got to Sunday. I started work. I mostly use Tuesday, one day as my off day. That is Tuesday as my off day.
Okay.
And I rest on that day.
Why do you rest on Tuesdays? My barber also says he rests on Tuesdays.
Yes, because
why Tuesdays?
Tuesdays, the work, with our small experience, Tuesday, the work doesn't move like the other days. Yes, that's how I observed. So I used that day to rest.
Okay.
So my toughest day is when I had a problem at the airport. This the guys who clamp
the cars.
The cars.
Okay.
Yes, and they actually I had to pick a lawyer. So I spoke to the lawyer that we are not allowed to pick up passengers. We are just to do drop-offs there. So he should come to the car park. So I get there and pick him up, and he said no, he's just standing at the pavement. So when I get there, you just pick pick up, and I decided to go. So after I just got there, he was sitting there. I picked him up. He just sat in. We were going, and these people threw the metal.
Wow!
So they actually threw the metal whilst we were in motion, and it burst my oil filter under. So I had to report to the police station close by. Whilst reporting, I saw my car being towed.
They threw the spikes
Yes.
at your car?
Yes, whilst the passenger was in and we were in motion.
Wow.
Yeah. So the passenger had to be with me all the while for me to have a police report and stuff. They took my car to their yard, and even with all that, we still went to pay for their towing, pay for the charges and everything. Had to find another mechanic, buy oil, buy filter, and the incident happened around 9 a.m. in the morning, but my car was released to me 8 in the evening, and it spoiled my day whilst I needed to make sales too. So it was one of my worst day ever.
Did you feel like giving up?
Yes, I almost. Not only that day, but sometimes you could even park for about an hour, 2 hours, and there is no request. But the car owner is expecting.
It's 500.
It's 500.
When do you pay the 500?
I do the payment on Mondays.
Okay, Monday. Cash or Momo?
In his bank account.
Okay.
Yes.
These days, if you pay the Momo, you'll be
So
we'll catch you.
I don't even like the mobile money transaction.
It takes a lot out of you.
Yes.
Is this? Yeah. What, you said you don't like it because
Yes,
of the.
Even most of the riders like to pay their fares with Momo, and if you tell them to add charges, they get bored, they get annoyed, they want to get misunderstandings with you. So I just advise them, I don't take Momo at all. Then you withdraw your money, then I take the cash.
But before 11, were you taking Momo?
Yes.
Ah.
Before 11, I like
Momo.
Yeah.
So with you are a Bolt driver.
Yes.
I know some drivers who they are linked up to both Bolt and Uber.
Yes.
Are you one of those drivers?
Okay, so I can say 90% of the drivers of both drivers are the same as Uber drivers or Yango drivers. It's just the app. So most drivers have all the apps, and you choose what you want to drive on. So with me like this, I have all the apps. I have Uber, I have Yango, I have Bolt, but I just choose to ride on Bolt.
Okay. Why? What's the advantage of riding with Bolt?
Okay. I started with Bolt, so I've become used to Bolt. Yes.
How much do they take out of you? Because you are supposed to pay them a commission, right?
Yes.
Every day.
And their commission is very bad. We pay them 25% on each trip. Yes, they take 25% of each trip. Whilst they don't buy you fuel, they don't give you car, they don't buy you bundle, they don't maintain your car, nothing.
So if after this ride I give you 40 CDs, you know 10 is going to Bolt straight.
Yes.
Okay. But if you compare their terms to Yango and Uber, what's it like?
Okay, so Uber is taking 20%. Uber is taking 20%, and Yango is also taking ahead 20 to 50%, 50 to 20%.
But if they are taking lower commissions, why don't you go with them? Bolt is the highest so far.
Yes, but Bolt has a lot of riders than the other.
So it's a market issue.
Yes.
Most people are calling for Bolt.
Bolt.
Why do you think that is so?
Okay, they give a lot of discounts to riders in order to get more riders. So we pick a lot of rides which you could even get there, and they tell you, the driver, not to take the rider anything. 000.
Oh wow.
And they will pay you the money.
Okay.
But sometimes the money doesn't even come through.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
They give a lot of discounts to riders in order to get a lot of riders.
Did you get any training before you joined any of these ride-sharing companies?
So they give about an hour training online. Yes, you just go through an hour training online before you'll be activated.
What does the training involve?
Okay, it involves they take you through how to use the app and how to relate to your customers. Okay. Basically, that's all.
I mean, in terms of customer care, what do they tell you to do?
Okay, they tell you you should always be polite and learn how to talk to customers. Even if customers get on your nerves, you should just report them.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me a story about when a customer really got on your last nerve.
So most customers, okay, so let me say some customers are very rude, and I'll categorize that in two. Most Ghanaians are the ones who are very rude, because some customers request ride and they'll be in their room bartending before they even request the ride. You reach there, you can wait for a customer for about 30 good minutes, and later the person will call you and tell you he or she is not going anymore, and she'll just cancel it whilst wasting your time. But most foreigners that others is, before you get there, he or she is already standing outside. And sometimes too, a Ghanaian can request you get there, maybe the map told you here is where she is. You get there, she'll tell you she's at the next gate, which is just a stone throw that she can even walk to you. She expects you to drive to her gate, like to just take a step and
pick her like a president.
Yes. And they behave to us anyhow, like they sit in the car, they talk to us anyhow. Sometimes to even want to ask them where you are going, they just tell you follow the map. So when you follow the map and they realize maybe they punch in their wrong destination, then it becomes a problem. And some also like to eat in the car. When you tell them to take the rubbish and put it in a dustbin or something, then it turns another fight. A whole lot of issues.
Who are ruder, men or women?
Women.
Women are ruder?
Yes.
Tell me a story about a very rude woman.
Yes. So there was this woman I picked at Ofanko barrier. Yes, yeah, I think Ofanko barrier. And she actually was coming to Circle VIP station, but she didn't choose Circle VIP station. She chose Dakuman VIP station. So the map was directing me towards that side, and I used that side. And the woman was shouting on top of her voice, like insulting me that don't I know how to use the map. And
a young lady or an old lady? I mean, how old?
A young lady.
Younger than you think?
Yeah, no, I'm older than her. And I
what words was she using?
Like driver onim nyansana, I don't want to go school ana.
Oh,
yes. I driving map no onim use that.
So are you not intelligent? Haven't you gone to school?
Yes.
If you don't know how to use a map, stay at home.
Yes. Those are some of the words. And I told him, said, Madam, Tobasi,
relax.
Pinchy as your destination is a wrong destination. Whenever you are typing a destination, you should go through and check. When you just type VIP station, there are a lot of VIP stations, so you need to choose the particular one.
And she didn't listen to you?
She didn't listen to me. So later I got to change the destination back to Circle. And when we got there and the price increases, she says she won't pay.
So how did you resolve that situation?
So she just gave me her initial money that when she was requesting she had. That was the only money she paid, and she left.
Wow.
Yes.
Very, very, very interesting. So the women are ruder.
Yes.
But there's sometimes too, some of you, the ride drivers, yes. You come, I meet you, and then you enter the car and they say something like, where are you going? And I don't understand that, because if I punch in my destination, don't you see my destination when I punch it in?
So
why do your people ask me questions like that?
Yes. So with Bolt and Uber, you don't see where the rider is going unless you start the train.
Oh.
Yes. But with Yango, if the request comes, you see where the rider is and where the rider is going.
So that's how come the Bolt and Uber guys will be asking me those questions. Yes. I've cancelled a lot of trips because of that, you know.
Yes.
Okay, so now I should be a bit more patient.
But you should be patient on that because I don't think if you ask a rider where you are going and you just tell the driver where you are going to bring any problem.
You know, because my feeling was that, once I've put my destination in, you must also know what the destination is. Yeah. So that when you come to me, we're just going. You don't have to ask me. The drivers don't know. So I apologize on behalf of all of us who have given stress to Bolt and Uber drivers. As for Yango, they know. Yes. So if a Yango guy asks me that question, I can be angry.
Yes, you can be angry. Because for the Yango drivers, they see where the rider is and where he or she is going.
Okay. Do you think customers should also get some training on how to?
Then it brings a whole lot of problems. So I think the riders also need to be educated on that this is a metered meter. It's not a fixed price. Yes.
Are there any areas of Ghana that you will not go with your car?
Yes.
Which areas will you not go?
If I think after 6, Nungwateshi, Ashaiman, Amasaman. Yes, these are some few areas I will not go.
Why?
Because there are high criminal rates there. Which,
how do you know this?
Some of my colleagues have.
Okay.
Yes, there are a lot of drivers who has lost their phones, and even some has lost their cars in these areas.
Wow.
They request you get there, they attack you. Yes. So mostly after 6, these areas I don't go at all.
What is the latest that you've driven? The latest time that you've been on the road to pick up somebody?
Around 3:30 a.m.
3:30 in the morning?
I've even driven 24 hours. Just this Sunday, I drove 24 hours.
Where?
I left. I started work 5 a.m. I got back home 3 a.m.
That's dangerous, man.
Because I need to catch up with my
your target. But you get to rest in between. I mean, say after this ride has ended, what will you do?
So after this ride ends, I try and get a shade and pack till the next ride. I just pack and just relax in my seat.
How will you get a notification?
So there will be a sound on my phone.
On your phone, a particular sound.
Yes.
And then it means you are going.
Yes.
They are picking you up.
Yes.
After your initial orientation, is there other orientation and training with?
Not at all.
So the beginning was it?
Yes, that's it.
Do you have to prove that you have a driving license?
Yes. You need to have a valid documentation. Your driving license, your road work, your insurance, everything needs to be valid before you can even be activated on the app.
What happens if you have an accident?
The app companies don't think about. It's like the app companies respect the riders than the drivers. They don't care about your safety, your health, accident, nothing. Yes.
Do you have a WhatsApp group of all the drivers that you guys communicate?
We have a lot of WhatsApp groups.
How many Bolt drivers do you think there are in Ghana?
There are tens of thousands. There are lots. There are lots.
Where's the furthest you have driven? You are based in Accra, but where is the furthest you have gone?
Okay, there is a town after Ekropon. I've forgotten the town. That's my farthest.
And you started the trip from where?
From Medina.
It took you how long?
It took me about 45 minutes.
Okay. Have you who's the strangest passenger you've ever had? Somebody who was acting very strange. You didn't understand what was going on.
Okay, if I could remember. Yes. So a strange rider I picked. It's a woman. Yeah, I picked her at the Accra High Court, and I was taking her to, I think, Tema Community 25, and when we were almost there, this woman started crying.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, hey, madam, why?
A Ghanaian woman?
A Ghanaian woman.
Young, old?
Old woman.
Okay.
Yeah, about 40s.
She was sitting in the front or behind?
Behind.
And she started crying?
She started crying.
So you started looking through your mirror?
Yeah, through the inner mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, whilst driving, I always take a snap to know what is going on
there.
Yes. So I asked the woman what's wrong, and this woman started the whole story that her husband has been in the US for the past 4 years and blah blah blah, and she's even feeling shy to tell me, but she needs sex. and she's ready to pay me anything I want.
She wanted to have sex with you.
This is not the first time. Talking of the sexual aspect of this job is serious. If I say
I'm interested, my brother.
Yes.
So how did you resolve this issue?
So I told the woman, "Mommy, please, I can't do that." She pleaded and everything. That no, I just ended the trip and I got back. That isn't even the first.
Some of some of your guys yielded to the temptation.
Yes.
Some of your colleagues.
Yes.
They go and have sex with the rider.
Some does that. I know. I met one guy at Osu. That was 1.5 years ago. He was with. That was the time I started the boat driving. He was with Mattis. He met this woman. The woman.
What is Mattis?
Mattis, the Mattis.
Okay, the Mattis car. Okay,
yes.
all right.
He met this woman. He went to drop the woman around Sakumon, and I think the woman is rich, and to reach her destination, she will just tell you she needs sex.
Oh, the women they can be very direct like that.
Yes,
What would they say? What did they say?
So I picked 2 women at Staifa, wear shorts. So I was in a pink shorts, and the one sitting in front started tie that.
While you were driving.
Whilst I was driving, that driver was here for, and I said, "Oh, madam,
I'm driving.
I say, oh, men friend me, madam, friend me Cindy or something.
Call me Cindy.
Yes, that's what she said, and she stopped. So when they will call me. So the following morning, they were the first people to call me to wake me up on bed. So after I realized it's them, and I just blocked their number. And not that alone. Now some of them, they don't even ask personally
for sex.
No, I've never had men asking for sex, but I've picked gays and gays who tried to start making love, and I stopped
in the vehicle.
Yes. So what they do, even just last 2 weeks, I picked 2 girls at Spinkters. They are Nigerians. So I was taking them to Sakumono. They were sitting at the.
I'm just thinking about this life. So does it get dangerous sometimes?
It's very dangerous.
Has anybody tried to attack you before?
No. For me, no. I think maybe it's the grace of God. Yes. But I had a strange request, which I think it might have ended up with an attack. I picked a man from Spintex to Ashaiman. I didn't want to go because it was even late, but the man pleaded that he's a certain company staff and they travel, so he just came by. It's not bad. So I went to pick the man. When I got there, he was a decent man. So I took him to Ashaiman. After dropping him, then a request came and I picked up the request. And it was these guys. I asked them, where are we going? Because mostly when it's late, since we don't know the destination, we asked where we are going. So I asked them where we are going, and they said, the guy said, we are going to Dawenya. And I said, oh, I can't go. And I heard from the background, another guys.
Meaning what?
Meaning if
they knew?
If I knew, I should have come. Like I will see what they would do to me. Then I cut it.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow. So that could have been something dangerous.
That could have been something dangerous.
Have some of your guys, you know anybody who has been attacked?
Yes, a church member, Stanley.
Who also drives the boat?
Yes,
the boat.
and his car was even taken.
Whoa.
Yes.
Which part of town?
He took 2 guys around Nungwa, these same areas around Nungwa.
Your danger areas that you know go through.
Yes. he took 2 guys there, and they came to take another guy at Teshi Rasta Road. So they became 3, and they brought him to Papaye to buy something before he would take them to their final destination. But I think it was his mistake. When he was parked at Papaye waiting for them, one brought him a fruit juice. They just bought him a fruit juice so he can also take and relax. They are coming, and he took the juice, not knowing the juice has been dragged. So upon going, they used the Akweje, the Osu Akweje park. So when they got to the Akweje park, he wasn't seeing anything, and they just brought him down. They took all his money, his ATM, everything. They took the car away. Until now, the car has not been found.
Police couldn't do anything?
No.
They had the number, everything?
No.
They couldn't find the car?
We always go to the police station. They'll tell him to bring 100 CDs, 150 CDs, 50. We did that severally and nothing. The car hasn't been found till now.
So what happened to his work? Does he still drive? Has he got a second car?
Yeah, he's gotten a second car. He actually he was actually unemployed for about 6 months before getting another car. And he was basically doing only nights. So, but since then he has changed and he has been doing day. Yes.
Are there women boat drivers?
Yes, a few of them.
Very few.
Very few. Them, I think they close very early. Yeah, some work for some few hours, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours. Then they are.
Are there professionals who also do boat?
Yes.
People who do other work and then do boat?
Yes. Yes.
Like what kind of work?
So I know a man who works at Newtown. He has a shop, a printing and graphic designing shop. So when he closes at 4, then he uses his car for like 3 hours before he goes home.
Okay. What's the best sales you can make in a day? Okay. You've made in a day. Best sales. When you take out all your, maybe the gross first, and then when you take out your deductions.
Okay. So mostly the best sales are on weekends.
Okay.
Yes, on weekends, maybe a Saturday, and it depends on the number of hours you work. Yes, so you can make about 500. Okay. 500 CDs gross. Yes, so with the 500 CDs, you take
125 will go to boat.
Yes,
that's their quota.
Yeah, before your fuel.
How much fuel? If you on a 500 day CD day, how much fuel can you spend?
You can spend about 150.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Charlie, the margins are really little.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And especially if your car fuel consumption is high, then
you drive a Kia morning.
Yes.
What's the fuel consumption like?
1.0. So with this, the fuel consumption is very good.
1 liter.
Yes.
Wow. Full tank is how much?
So at first, 200 CDs, 250 could fill the tank, but now 450.
Wow. So you is there a particular filling station you buy your fuel from? You watch the numbers. Do you watch the numbers?
Yes. So in this situation, we look to the lowest numbers on board.
Which are the lowest numbers? Tell me. Me, I also do that too. Me, I know where I buy from.
So there is one in my area, Veros Petroleum, which is 10.7.
Okay.
Yes, 10.7.
Okay.
And some you could get some at 10.6. So when you get to an area and you see 10.4, then you just
buy quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are watching the fuel prices seriously.
Yes.
Where are the busiest parts of Accra where there's always Bolt and Uber and Yango action?
Okay, the busiest part is Medina.
Okay.
Medina. And sometimes East Legon. And Osu.
Okay.
Yes.
How does the app work? I mean, is it based on where you are before they call you?
Okay, so it's the closest driver to the nearest driver, the rider.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So where the rider is requesting, the closest driver is who they will direct the request to.
Has anybody left valuables in your car?
Yes, a lot of times.
What's the most common thing that they leave in the car?
So a girl left Samsung S21 at Domi. I picked her from Makati. So upon turning to the junction and I saw it, so I returned it back to her. And I picked the woman from Osu here to Adabraka. She left her boss airports. I also sent it back to her. And one woman also left a whole market stuff.
Oh,
like about plantain, tomatoes, a whole like a whole
wow.
package.
What was she thinking about, man?
And I actually dropped her at Nungwa, and I saw the thing around Kaneshi because it was in my boot.
Oh, that's how come she forgot.
Yes. So I later called her, and she said she's even traveling that night, going to Ho. So I should keep it. She'll be back the following day. I called her. It was in my car for about 3 days. Later on, I had to go and leave it to the Nungwa police barrier.
Okay.
Then I told her I've left it there, and we exchanged numbers with the police. So I even told her when she get the thing, she should call me and let me know.
Yes.
When she got the thing, she didn't tell me. The policeman told me the woman has come.
Okay. Do those who return, you return the stuff to, do they tip you?
Okay, most of them says thank you. Yes. And I think the woman who left her airport wanted to give me something, but I didn't take.
What do you think about that taxi driver who returned some big money to the trader?
He has a good heart and a good spirit, because in this modern Ghana, how the economy is, most of drivers, I don't think, will return such an amount, because some even needs 100 cedis for fuel. But I think it's just a way of the Lord's doing. Some might return it, but some wouldn't, because listen to some of comments from other drivers. Some said they will never think, but I think it's the best thing to do is to return the money, because you might not know what will come out from it, and first of all, it's not even yours. So if you know the owner, you need to return it here.
Are you a religious person?
Yes, very religious.
Do you pray before you start your mission journey?
Yes, every morning before I hold my steering, and when I get home too, that's the first thing I do before I get out of the car. I think that is what is helping me, because I don't meet any rowdy. I don't usually meet any rowdy people.
And you can resist, like Joseph, the temptations of the women who want to sleep with you.
I think it's by the grace of God. Yes.
What does your family think about you being a Bolt driver?
Okay, with my family, they don't even care from day one. So I'm living like without a family.
They're not proud of you?
No, they don't even care about. It's like since the loss of my parents.
Your parents died?
Yes.
When did your parents die?
I lost my mom 2012, and about 2 years time I lost my dad too. And since then, family doesn't help anyone. Like, family don't care about me. Like, so I'm just, it's just God till now.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I'm the only child of my dad, but at my mom's side we are two. I have an elder brother who lives in Kumasi. So I've been in Accra all alone. I've been alone since 2010 till now.
Who do you stay with?
I stay alone.
Okay. You miss your parents?
A lot, because if they were to be alive, I don't think I might be going through certain struggles, in life, like how I'm going now.
Where did you go to school? What's your highest level of education?
SHS, Christian Methodist Senior High.
Creamy too?
Yes, please.
What's your plan for the future?
So, my plan is to establish my own businesses. I'm most interested in buying and selling of goods like electronics, phones, yes, and a lot of other businesses.
What did you study in school?
Visual arts.
Visual arts.
Yes.
So but you don't do anything with the arts.
No.
Why not?
Life found us in a different way.
What do you think your father and mother would have thought of you right now? You think they'll be proud of you?
Yes, they'll be very proud, because they know I have nobody, but I've been able to take good care of myself till now. Yes.
Have you saved money? Are you saving?
Not really, because almost 90% of the income is going into the car. So I think after I'm done paying is when I will get something.
Because then you'll be working for yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Because for now, what you the driver gets personally is hand to mouth, because of the work and pay. Yes. Because you are the same person doing the maintenance, buying for everything, and making 500 cedis
a week.
Weekly sales consistent for these 2 years.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I had one, but it didn't go well. But I now have one, which we don't. I think we've met only once. We saw each other once, and since then we are just talking on phone, just praying and hoping for the best in future.
Does she know what you do?
Yes.
What does she think?
She's very proud of it, and she's one of my encouragements. I feel emotional talking about her. Yeah.
Why?
I think she has good plans.
Okay.
For me, she encourages me a lot, and the future is bright with her.
All right.
Just hoping everything works well.
Nice one. What does she do?
She's an event organizer and a caterer.
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
So your choice sorted.
Yes.
What's your advice to young people who are struggling on their own without help from people who could have supported them?
Yes. Okay.
What can you say to inspire them?
My advice is they should never give up, and they should make God their number one priority. With God, everything is possible. They should never give up, and all I tell them is, no condition is permanent. It's just a matter of time. Everything is temporary. Everything that has a beginning has an end. So they shouldn't give up. They should just be strong, and at the end of the day, victory will be theirs.
Elia,
Yes, sir.
I've really enjoyed this conversation, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so that's my man, Elia, who took me on a ride, not through town alone, but through his life as well.
Yes.
So now you know what it's like
Yes.
to be a boat driver. So that's day in the life of a boat driver. See you when I see you. Take care, man.
Right.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Welcome.
And all the best.
Thank you.
God day.
Yes.
Never give up.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of you too.
I'm proud.